Tell me a little bit about what prompted your kind of excitement about coming here and participating in this discussion today.
Well, SHAPE is a really interesting organization that's fulfilling an unmet need in medicine today. My field has always been heart disease prevention through lipid manipulation, risk factor determination, but risk factors just give you the probability of developing disease. Imaging, such as a coronary artery calcium score, actually tells you that something's anatomically there or not. And for the past 10 years, I found this extremely useful in my patients, but it hasn't been fully embraced by the medical community. So what we're trying to do is come up with the ultimate clinical trial that will convince the public, the medical community, and the payers, like insurance companies, that this is the right test to do in the right group of people. So that's been our discussion today.
Why should the average Joe on the street give a darn about all of this? Sounds like a bunch of scientists and cardiologists got together and they're just making soup, but it really does have a downstream impact.
Yeah, the average person should indeed be concerned and aware about this, because the data still shows that 50% of people find out they have heart disease for the very first time when they suddenly drop dead with no prior symptoms. So there's a heck of a lot of people out there with heart disease walking down the street, and boom, they fall down and they die, and that's the first time they know they have heart disease. So wouldn't it be smart to determine if you have heart disease before that, so you can take a relatively aggressive role preventing it? So we know from a lot of National Institutes of Health studies and studies that we've done at Berkeley and Stanford, you can actually impact the progression of this disease. So if you have it, that's kind of a bummer. You got it. But the good news is you can actually treat it and make things even better. So why not get tested and find out whether or not you actually have the disease? Then the risk factors become important, because then you know what to treat. But the risk factors unto themselves don't absolutely predict if you're going to have a heart attack or not.
All right. If you had to ask somebody for money, not that I want you to literally do that, but what do you think? Because you deal with a patient population, so what's the compelling message that'll make somebody open their wallets and contribute $5 or $10?
There's a couple of very compelling reasons to contribute finances to the ultimate study. And the first is that the National Institutes of Health no longer funds these big studies. They've made a decision to fund different types of studies at a lower level. And I've certainly got my share of federal grant money, and I'm very grateful for that. But this is a different age right now. So we have to do this without the funding of the federal government. So that can only be done if we get funds from other sources, and some of that is directly from the public.